hanging, people. I'm Lindsay Geektron, and this is LolKing's League Trends for the week of April 7th, 2015. This week's show is brought to you by Full Sail University. If you've ever considered working behind the scenes to create video games, Full Sail University can make your dreams a reality. Whether you're interested in coding, art producing, or mobile game development, there's a game degree program at Full Sail that can help you achieve your dream. The Mobile Gaming Master's Program is an advanced programming degree that teaches the unique skill set for the fast-growing mobile game market and is just one of many programs available. For more information, visit fullsail.edu/leaguetrends. This week, our featured champions include Cho'Gath, Annie, Zillion, Varus, Gragas, and Rek'Sai. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. The tanks Cho'Gath, Amumu, and Nautilus top our increased pick rates this week. Lucian and Vladimir follow up. So if you watch the professional scene, you might have seen players like Faker and Bjergsen playing Cho'Gath in the mid lane. What gives? The Terror of the Void has had a change to his ultimate, Feast, to make stacking it easier. There's also been nerfs to some other bullies in the mid lane. Honestly though, Cho'Gath has been a perfectly fine champion for the longest time. The reason you haven't seen much of him earlier was that pro players have felt he was too unreliable to use. His Rupture ability is a potent knockup, but it can be difficult to land. There's no such thing as a champion that's too hard to play though. It's taken a while, but players have learned to get the most out of his kit. For example, it may seem easy to flash or use an ability to dodge Rupture, but simply silencing opponents with Feral Scream scraps that plan and forces them to get busy with their feet. Speaking of movement, one of the best counters to Cho'Gath is movement speed. Early tier 2 boots or speed boosting abilities make walking out of Rupture a breeze if a wild Cho'Gath is trying to eat you. Many will be glad to see some of League's most slippery and annoying champions on the decreased pick rates list. Breathe a sigh of relief at the absence of Annie, Nidalee, Akali, Teemo, and Ezreal. No, I have not seen your bear Tibbers this past week. Annie is still a popular champion, but a bit less so lately. She can be played in the solo lanes, but her most common role is support, so it follows that the recent increase in Nautilus support is responsible for this trend. There are some direct competition here, as both champions can serve as primary engagers. Annie herself has had a number of tweaks recently, but remains largely the same champion. As either a support or carry, she's a major lane bully thanks to her long auto attack range and stun-inducing Pyromania passive. She's easy to play, which is both a strength and a weakness. Flash Tibbers is easy enough to land, but good opponents will see the bear coming and spread out ahead of time to minimize the impact. Win rate increases have cropped up for Evelynn, Zyra, Zillion, Cassiopeia, and Karthus. Zillion! Is he back yet? And nobody knows, but he did receive a healthy round of buffs in the last 2 patches after his rework. For those who haven't been keeping up, his Time Bomb ability is now a skill shot. Like a Fizz Shark, it either attaches to a target or sits on the ground if it whiffs. Doubling bombing enemies also causes an AoE stun to trigger. This is all fine and dandy, but the change from targeted ability to skill shot means that Zillion struggles in lane. He has no way to trade past minions, as his other abilities don't do damage. Also, half the reason people even played Zillion before the rework was for the experience boost from his previously global passive, Heightened Learning. It used to be that by merely existing, Zillion could be doing his allies quite the favor across the map, but now the passive has limited range and a smaller impact. Poor Zillion. It's highly unlikely you'll see him floating anywhere around the rift. Purple and green are the dominant colors amongst decreased win rates. On the list are Varus, Zac, Maokai, Kennen, and Rengar. Varus is down there with Misfortune and Quinn as a very unpopular played ADC. Why so? The popular spiel is that he's immobile without exceptional range or scaling. True. Some would point to the percent health damage from his Blighted Quiver ability as a good thing to have in today's Cinderhulk tank meta. They're not wrong, but an ADC's damage is also a function of their safety. Players can only deal damage when they have a place to stand. Varus is unforgiving in this regard, so it's hard to justify playing him. He does bring a few interesting abilities if you're confident in your positioning though. His Chain of Corruption ultimate is a strong CC and good at stopping dives in their tracks. Varus also has a heavy poke in the mid game thanks to the high AD ratio on his signature Piercing Arrow ability. Varus used to have a niche in Season 3 when it was all about the assassins, and the ADC was more of a supportive role. So maybe we'll see more of him if there are changes to ADC itemization away from the early Infinity Edge. The tank meta is in full bloom as we see 5 oversized champions on the increased ban rates list. Players are saying no to Hecarim, Sejuani again, Cho'Gath, Gragas, and Nautilus. Sejuani is almost at 70%. We like our league kosher. Gragas is not the first champion people might think of when it comes to Cinderhulk. Most memories of Gragas are of the AP variation that tried to one-shot people. The rabble-rouser can enjoy a good brawl though. His Drunken Rage ability provides up to 18% damage reduction, while his other abilities are as valuable for their CC as much as their damage. Playing jungle Gragas gives players a surprising amount of early game pressure for a Cinderhulk jungler. Barrel roll can be tricky to land, but overall his early ganks and damage are impressive. Later in the game, his explosive cask provides powerful, if unpredictable, disruption. Be careful when using it, as every now and then you run the risk of knocking a dangerous champion into one of your carries and getting a little flame for it. My bad. The ban rate isn't too high yet, so expect to see more of this unconventional jungler on the Rift. It's Ladies' Night. Ladies dominate the decreased ban rates list. Irelia, Rek'Sai, LeBlanc, and Kalista, and Lonely Jarvan 4 make up the list. The Queen is dead. Long live the Queen. Such would appear to be the case for many players when it comes to Rek'Sai and Sejuani. Not long ago, Rek'Sai was public enemy number 1, but Sejuani has usurped the throne over the past month, and players have completely forgotten the previous threat. Justified? Yeah, yes and no. Rek'Sai is not a Cinderhulk jungler, as she gets too much out of AD in the early and mid game. This means she won't be quite as strong as other champions come late game. It's all relative though, as she still scales more reliably than other early game AD junglers. Overall, Rek'Sai is a very safe and reliable pick. She has solid early game pressure and superior vision when it comes to invading thanks to her Tremor Sense passive. A good Rek'Sai player can snowball the early game hard enough to negate a Cinderhulk jungler. And best of all, Rek'Sai's Unburrow mechanic is simple and doesn't get outplayed. Simply auto-attack people while burrowed and they'll automatically get popped up by Unburrow. No need to actually activate the ability and risk misjudging the range. Rek'Sai's strengths are simple yet versatile, so you'll be seeing her in solo queue for some time to come. And that's all for this week's show. Make sure you check back every Tuesday for the latest episode. Like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this video around to all of your buddies, and make sure you visit this week's sponsor, fullsail.edu/league trends, for more information about how you can get into the video game industry. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can find me on Twitch TV at Lindsay Geektron. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see everyone next week. Bronze life, baby.